We shall wage this war with undaunted faith and courage. We shall not take one step back. This is the Emperor's world, and we will not surrender it. The Vostroyan Firstborn are a regiment of the Astra Militarum, hailing from the industrial world of Vostroia within the Segmentum Obscurus. Serving the Imperium for numerous Terran centuries, the Vostroyans fight to absolve themselves of their past crimes made against the Master of Mankind. Vostroia's ancestors would forever stain the honor of their noble progeny by their refusal to fight in the Emperor's name and defer to manufacturing weapons for the Imperial army, rather than shed their blood defending the Imperium. Despite their refusal to face the traitors to the throne, Vostroia would receive incredible mercy for their actions and be given a chance for atonement. Scrutinized personally by the Primarch of the 13th Legion, Roboute Guilliman, the Lord Commander of the Imperium would negotiate a means for the people of Vostroia to make amends for their transgression. Pledging to offer their firstborn sons of each family of their world to fight in the Emperor's name, the Vostroyan Firstborn would be founded. Warned by Guilliman that their penance could last eternal, the Tektriarch nobles of Vostroia would accept their new pact without dissent and allow for 10,000 years of unbroken tithes to the Imperium. Trained within the frozen ruins and harsh cityscapes of their world, the Vostroyan Firstborn regiments garrison their world's uninhabitable wastes until their deployment across the stars. Never to return to their homeworld, each generation of the Vostroyan Firstborn are reinforced with new recruits to each of their regiments, with each new generation of aspirants. Despite the long journeys and labor required to reinforce their battle-scarred regiments, such a practice allows for the veterans of the Firstborn to mentor their new recruits and continue the glories won by their regiments, hearkening to the original founding of their line to remain unbroken. Each member of the regiment's officer corps is composed of soldiers drawn from Vostroia's ruling Tektriarch aristocracy, whilst its rank and file comprise of those taken from the slums of its labor menials and worker families. Though due to their bloodlines, bonds of camaraderie are strengthened with distant uncles, aunts and cousins, watching over their familial kin upon their induction into each regiment. Driven with zealous courage and peerless stubborn pride, the Vostroyans are among the most driven Astra Militarum branches of its military. Experts of urban warfare and adept at fighting in cold climate environments, the Vostroyans form the bulk of their forces as line infantry. Supported by armoured divisions, their heritage as manufactorum workers bolsters their armaments with close ties to the Adeptus Mechanicus. Their homeworld housing vast great smelteries and factories, the hyper-industrious peoples of Vostroia, despite their pledge of firstborns to fight in the Emperor's name, never falter in their production quotas to the Mechanicus. Each factory bears a sacred workshop, tasked with building the armaments and war gear of their firstborn. The factory workers tasked with submitting a single hour per 10 of each of their day shifts to upkeep of the firstborn's equipment. Fueled by the desire to aid their long-distant brothers, sisters, sons and daughters to be armed appropriately to face the enemies of humanity, the Vostroyans work diligently to support their kin. Outfitted with armaments superior to many Astra Militarum regiments, each weapon of the Vostroyan Firstborn is handcrafted, for none shall charge into battle wielding mass-produced munitions. Currently deployed to the Margin Crusade, Calixus Sector and Halo Stars, the Firstborn fight alongside the regiments of Cadia, as the Vostroyans have served as part of the Spinwood Forward Star sectors spanning war zones longer than any Astra Militarum regiment. Remaining at close to full strength during their service, their prowess in battle has seen to their favour by the Lord Militant of the Macabian Janissaries, Supreme Commander Ganzeric. Inheriting the equipment of their vanquished kin, the Vostroyans further enshrine their ties to tradition by donning their ancestors' armour and weapons from one battle to the next. Clad in plasteel alloy carapace armour, the Vostroyans are the envy of many Astra Militarum regiments due to their superior equipment. Wielding handcrafted las rifles, embellished with etched brass filigree, the Baroque warriors of Vostroia cut a noble figure in the midst of battle. their red mask lenses and longcoats easily identifiable by both Imperial and heretical forces alike. The officers of the Firstborn integrate ornate axe blades and bayonets to their lasguns for increased melee proficiency. Standard bearers of the regiment are honoured with carrying ancient sabres and daggers of their proud homeworld and ritually scar their upper torsos with symbols honouring their heritage. Those of the most aristocratic houses bear weapons inlaid with precious metals and hand-carved wooden stocks, and for each enemy slain by their craft, the Vostroyans feel immense pride in the keen edge and firepower of their inherited heirlooms. Primarily armed with the M36 Cantrail pattern lasguns, unlike their mass-produced counterparts, each Vostroyan-made M36 is finely tuned and crafted to allow for superior handling. Despite their ornate and distinct design, such weapons function to the same as standard lasguns, yet exceed their mass-produced counterparts in effectiveness. Utilizing variants such as the M40 carbine pattern lasgun as surplus stock, snipers of the regiment also make use of their own unique pattern of long las. The most high-ranking officers wield sabres known as shashka in single-handed grips, which prove effective as both slashing and thrusting weapons. The curved blades can be dual-wielded by expert duelists of the regiment and are capable of rending most combatants foolish enough to test their edge. Cut off from the wider Imperium with the expanse of the Cicatrix Maledictum across the galaxy, despite the interference of the Great Rift, the Vostroyans have proven reliable in defending their homeworld and its surrounding star systems. Bereft of the guidance of the light of the Astronomicon, the Vostroyans continue to reinforce their positions across dozens of war zones. Flying blind, the Vostroyans are regardless undeterred from travel and utilize ancient data charts and the memories of veteran navigators to circumvent the Great Rift. Though most transports never reach their destination, the Vostroyans shall never again suffer the shame of denying the call to war. Governed by the Tectriarchy Committee, formed of Adeptus Mechanicus Archmagi and planetary nobles, Vostroya's boundless subjects, despite their polluted inhabitants and poor living conditions, continue to replenish the losses incurred from war. The poorest families shall tithe their firstborn to enable them a chance to achieve glory in their name, and once bedecked in the red uniform of their military, honouring their ties to the Mechanicus of Mars, their children shall escape the monotony of toil to give their lives for the glory of the Emperor. Conservative in their beliefs, the Vostroyans defer to the wisdom of previous generations, espousing that those too eager to sate their curiosities shall reap pain, torment, and even death at the hands of the malevolent denizens of a ruthless galaxy. Carrying parchments known as the Treaties Elati into battle, these sacred texts, written by Saint Nadalia, the patron saint of Vostroya, each member of the Firstborn march into battle with the blessing of their Grey Lady. Utterly devoted to the Imperium and its creed, the Vostroyans treat Astra Militarum regiments showing less devotion with contempt. Fiercely loyal to those who earn their respect, they shall stand with their comrades in arms to the death and treat such individuals or regiments as if they share their bloodline.